Since you were a child, your mom has asked you what you wanted to be when you grew up. And at first, you probably said something like an astronaut or a ballet dancer. And then she told you that those aren't really professions. So you grew up a little more and you felt the deep impact of the movies you love, the books you read, the music that you listened to, and you decided that you wanted to become an artist. But then again, your mother told you that this is not going to give you any money. Besides, that's not even a profession. Are you kidding me? You want to become an artist? But here's the problem. You were told by somebody, definitely not your mother, that if you did what you loved, you would never work a day in your life. And who doesn't want that? So you tried following your dreams because you wanted to be the best version of yourself, and you thought that there was so much more to life than just following an ordinary path. But then a few years pass, and when you look around, you realize that as you were pursuing those big dreams of yours, your friends were all finding the so-called real jobs, and now they're all better off than you. So the question is, was your mom right all along? Did you choose to believe in a fantasy that doesn't fit the real world? And if so, how do you balance your passions and your work? Okay, let me get personal here. I do believe that everybody should follow their passions because we only got one life and it is so short, so you might as well do what you love. On the other hand, we know that most of us want to do our parents proud, but the problem is that doing what you love and making your parents proud are two things that don't always go together. But the reason for that is because something really important happened in between your parents' generation and yours that would change your entire life, and not only yours, but the lives of everybody else that would come into this world right after you. Because if you think about it, you see that you and your parents are from two different generations, but in terms of the gap, the generational gap, it's a very short time. So it really doesn't matter if your parents are 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, or 70 years older than you. Because in terms of the history of mankind or the universe, this is such a short time. So what is that happened that changed everything that came after you? Well, the answer to that is simple: the internet. Because you grew up with so much access to content and to new material that you could watch literally from your cell phone thousands of people all over the world doing incredible stuff and also making a living out of that. And because you grew up with that, you could watch those people and think, well, if they can do it, why not me? I can do it as well. I can live the life of my dreams, right? Well, I believed the same thing. And why is that? Because we grew up in a time that, thanks to the internet, nothing ever felt too far out of reach for us. And that's exactly where the conflict between you and your parents probably started. Because the internet allowed you to choose from so many more options. You literally had endless alternatives of career to follow. Whereas your parents, when they had to choose their professions, they had a very limited amount. They could choose, I don't know, let's say engineers, or they could be lawyers or doctors. And you could be, for example, a content creator, right? And that is the reason why your parents worry so much about you and they want you to find real jobs. Because the new jobs that have been created by the internet, they simply haven't been tested by time, right? So let's get the example of the content creator. How old is this profession? I don't know, man. Let's say it's 10 or 15 years, right? Look at that. It's such a short span, right? Whereas if you look at being an engineer or a doctor, are professions that have existed long before your parents were born and will exist long after all of us are gone. And what about content creation? Well, to be honest, we really don't know what's going to happen because the internet changes everything so quickly. So it might be a cool thing right now, but in 5, 10, or 15 years, we really don't know if that's going to still exist. So that is the reason why your parents want you to find find the so-called real jobs because they have proven to succeed the test of time. They have endured the test of time. Whereas content creation or whatever that was created by the internet, it still hasn't. And it is very important to understand that no matter how much conflict you find in between what you want to do and what your parents want you to do, they love you. There's no doubt about it, right? They love you. That's why they worry about you. And you would probably do the same thing if you were from their generations and if you were in their shoes right now. Having said that, it's essential that you understand that our generation has been sold the idea that if you do what you love, then you would never have to work a day in your entire life. And come on, guys, this is definitely false. This is a lie. Think about it now. Tell me, what is the thing that you love the most in this entire universe? It can be your parents, it can be your girlfriend, it can be yourself, your friends, your job, your hobbies, your children. It really doesn't matter, because I bet you that as much as you love it, at some day in your life, at some point, you definitely hated that. And that happens to everybody. We are humans. Our likes and dislikes, they change throughout time. That's why you cannot base your entire life only on what you love, because that will simply not be enough to get you out of bed every day. Because you might do what you love, but you will still find challenges, you will still have self-doubts, you will still think that you're not talented enough, gifted enough, you will still think that you're a failure, and you will still dislike what you're creating. It happens to everybody. So don't base your life, again, like I said, only on what you love. And there is something that I've been thinking quite a lot about lately, which is the fact that the career you choose is not supposed to make you happy. Actually, it is supposed to make you useful. What I mean by that is that you should choose a profession thinking on how you can impact other people's lives, how you can improve and help other people, because that's what ultimately in the long term will make you get out of bed every day and feel like you need to do it. And that is also what ultimately is gonna make you love what you do. It's not only about yourself. It's not only doing something because you love it, but also you are supposed to help other people. And if you do that, you will see life will get easier. And it's incredible. We've really been tricked into believing that we must always pursue what we love. But look around for a second and you will see that there are millions of people who excel at what they do, but still they are burnout. They can't do it anymore. They must find a way to distance themselves from what they do. They just don't like it anymore. They don't feel like doing it, even though they have given their entire lives to that purpose. It happens to everybody, and it can happen to you as well. So don't put this kind of pressure on your career, because it is not supposed to make you happy every single day or every second of the day. That is just impossible. No matter how much you love something, you will not be able to love it every single day equally. It changes. Some days you wake up and you love doing it. The next day you will hate doing it. And that happens with everything and everybody. So you must follow your passion if that's how you're going to impact other people's lives, if that's how you're going to help other people, because how fulfilled you feel is directly dependent on how much you help others. Okay, so by now I'm guessing you're thinking, all right, but where does money fit in all that? And that's a question that I've been struggling with for a long time, because I wanted to be an actor. And so I dropped out of university just to pursue an acting career. And initially, I dedicated my entire life, every second of my day, to that. So I'd go to acting classes, I'd practice with friends, I'd go to auditions, read plays, watch movies. I would do everything I possibly could to become a better actor and to find a job. And I believed that if I kept doing it long enough, my life would eventually turn upside down and I would be a successful actor, I'd find work, I'd receive lots of money, I'd be loved by people, whatever. But the years passed and I didn't see any of that happening to me. And so I understood that I had to find a way to make money. Because if I really wanted to find a way to become an actor, I had to also find a way to make a living. And so what I did was I started teaching English. I haven't mentioned it earlier, but I'm Brazilian. You might have noticed by my accent, but you might be asking yourself, okay, are you a good teacher? And I tell you, no, I'm not a good teacher. You probably have seen me make many mistakes throughout this video, but I learned how to learn English. And that skill could be taught to other people. Do I love doing this? Does it make me get out of bed every day in the morning feeling excited for my day and excited for whatever is coming? No, definitely not. But like we said earlier, it makes me useful, and that is very fulfilling to me. I might not be the greatest teacher, but at least I'm teaching people something, some skill that I learned and that I could pass on. And then I suddenly realized that I was being much more useful to society as an English teacher than I was being an actor. Because at least I was interacting with the world, right? With people every day. And even though it didn't make me get out of bed happy and singing, it gave me purpose. And that's what I needed. So what I'm saying here is, if you want to follow your dreams, do it. I think you should do it. But don't think that the planets will align and then there will come a time in which everything will be perfect. Because it probably won't. I hope it does, but it might not happen. So while you pursue your dream, also find a way to make money. Money is a tool. And if you're not a monk, you will definitely need money until the last day of your life. And you have to figure out the skill. You have to develop the skill of making money, because that'll be the skill that will give you the tranquility you need to pursue your dreams. So trust me, you can do both things. You can be happy and you can go after money, and that will make you grow so much as a person, you have no idea. Just start and you will see how much you grow as a human being. But you know, there comes a time in everybody's lives in which we just have to face it. It's time to grow up. And by that, I mean that you must sit down and look at your dreams, because maybe you've been carrying that dream ever since you were a child, and that dream doesn't even move you anymore, but you're still pursuing it because you believe you should achieve it, or you believe that that will make you happy. Maybe it won't. Maybe it doesn't already. So analyze it. Look at it. And the cool thing about it is that there is no right or wrong answer. You must find one for yourself. If you say, my dream is important to me, then go ahead, man. Go at it. Keep at it. Give it everything you got. But if it doesn't, it's okay. You can find some other dream. And you can also admit along the way that you feel lost. Like I have, like I still do, by the way. Because there are a billion interesting things that you might want to do with your life. However, you only have so much time. Therefore, you won't be able to do everything that you want. You must find a way to prioritize. Sit down and understand what is really important to you. Once you understand that, go after it, man. But you won't be able to fulfill every dream you have. Some you just gotta let go, and it's part of life. It's part of growing up. And in that process, take on some responsibility. I know it's not easy. I struggle with that myself every single day, but you have no idea how important it is for you to take on some responsibility. Like I said, go find a way to make some money, create content, it really doesn't matter, but find a way to make some money, and also do what you love. Do what you love. If you feel like you gotta do it, man, go. If not, change it. There's literally nobody who can tell you that what you're doing is wrong besides yourself. But there's one thing that we should admit. Maybe your mother was right all along. Maybe you should just grow up and get a real job. Maybe I should too. But I'm willing to bet that if you can find a way to be useful to others, to help others, while also following your dreams and also figuring out a way of how to make money or how to make enough money for you at the moment, then you might never make it the way you believed and so desperately wanted to. But there's one thing that I can tell you for sure. You're gonna make a difference. And not only that, you're gonna make a difference and you're also gonna make your mother so very proud of you if you can do that, if you can help others, if you can serve and do it with passion. Man, that's beautiful. That's one of the most beautiful things any of us can do.